I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about positioning, marketing, and sales from an unexpected source. A TV series called Better Call Saul, arguably the best TV show that's ever been created. So I just want to do a little setup and just want to be careful here. There's no spoilers, so you don't have to worry. It should be spoiler free. In season 4 or so, Saul isn't able to practice law anymore for a period of time, and he has to go get a regular job like a regular person. And so he gets a job selling cell phones, early days of cell phones at a company called CC Mobile. And in this clip, you're gonna see the store is dead. He's vacuuming, he's cleaning, and there are 0 customers. He calls up his boss and he asks his boss, hey, it's a little slow right now. What's going on? And this is pretty much the business.
CC Mobile, this is Jimmy.
Heyo, how's the first morning?
Good, Robbie. Well, yeah, actually, it's a little slow.
Yeah, that store's always been a bit calmer. Just bring a book.
So this is a normal weekday?
Mostly, but wait till inventory week. There's a line out the door.
When's inventory week?
You just missed it.
Is there any chance that you could move me to a store with a little more traffic?
Let's see. The Gold Street store is always hopping. But it looks like the schedule's all full right now. Let's give it a couple weeks and then we'll see.
No problem.
If I can, I'll swing by later. Keep up the good work.
See you then. Bye.
So Saul, being so industrious, has to come up with a new idea to find customers because he's not making any money doing this. Being the marketing genius he is, he decides to do something quite remarkable, and that is to create a different type of customer. Business guru Peter Drucker once said, the purpose of a business is to make profit and also to create a customer. And that sounds like a strange concept, to create a customer. How do you do that? Well, in this time and age, in this reference of this video, the people who bought cell phones were people who wanted mobile access to be able to call people, and these are early days. But there are not that many people who had a demand for this back then. Today, it's ubiquitous. So to create a customer, it means you take the product, and without changing the product, you move it to someone else, and you find a whole different category of people to sell to. So instead of talking about features and functions, about data plans, roaming, free access, hands-free, and all that kind of stuff, he focused on doing something very different. He decided, instead of selling technology, he sold privacy. He painted his beautiful sign across the window that said, "Is the man listening?" followed up with "privacy sold here." So they say if you want to get rich, teach people about the problem and make them problem aware. And then all he had to do was wait for the customer to walk in. Like a fly to honey, someone takes the bait. The gentleman pulls up in a truck, halts, and backs up, reading the sign, "Privacy sold here." And the next little part that we're gonna see here is the beautiful part where he pretends he's on the phone with an existing customer, saying that they can't buy the phones because the demand on this phone is so high. He's created artificial demand.
Yep, maximum privacy. It's best money can buy. 10, no, can't do it. Everyone wants these things. 6, yeah, I can do 6. Okay, see you later.
So you notice also how he pretends to have a call with a fake customer, and then he takes it and breaks it. A demonstration of what you're supposed to do, piquing the curiosity of this guy who's walking in the store, like, who destroys a brand new cell phone? Well, he's showing them what the purpose of this is. Single use, use it, destroy it, so it's untraceable. In fact, he's already rehearsed this whole thing. So when the gentleman comes in, instead of being eager to serve him, he's like, "I'll be with you in 1 second." He's writing something, we're not quite sure what he's writing yet, but what he does write is "on hold, do not sell," and he has a stack of cell phones ready to be purchased. So the guy walks in and is like, "What is this all about? I heard that you sell privacy. What do I need privacy from?" Well, he says, people are always listening, and we're doing a lot of business on the phone, cash-based business that we might not want everyone to listen to, which intrigues the guy. And this is where another genius thing that Saul does.
Privacy sold here.
Yep, this is the place.
Privacy from who?
Come on, you know.
Like the government?
Could be.
He doesn't know what he's trying to hide from. He says things vaguely. So the guy says, "You mean like the IRS?" He goes, "Bingo, that's what we're doing."
Like the IRS?
Bingo.
And so he knows this guy is trying to hide some cash transactions. They get into it a little bit more.
Scheduling appointments on the phone. How are you arranging payments on the phone? And who's listening? That's right. They know every lick and tittle. So you're living your life free and easy, and then one day, at a time of their choosing, bam! They bring the hammer down to Chinatown.
Jesus.
Jesus is right. I'm telling you, these guys don't fool around, and they will clean your bones faster than a school of piranhas. I'll tell you what I do. I practice something we call information hygiene.
I love how Jimmy even comes up with this expression, coining his own term, information hygiene. He wants to practice having very clean information so the government or the IRS isn't hearing anything they shouldn't be hearing. That's a great way to package this idea. So you can come up with a problem and even find a solution and give it a clever name. So clearly this customer is in for it. They get into it a little bit more. He goes, well, how would this work? He goes, well, if you buy this with cash, it's untraceable, and if you use it just once, you want to remain private, will remain private.
Can't be traced, can't be tracked. That'll keep you clean as a whistle. What they don't know can't hurt you, especially if you use it only once per. You know, that's kind of key.
Once per what?
Once per week, once per day, once per call.
And that's the most genius thing that you can understand. So in marketing speak, the definition of positioning is this. It's the space you occupy in the heart and mind of the customer relative to your competitor. In this case, he needed to find a customer who had a problem where the thing that he sold is the perfect solution for. In order to do that, he has to agitate the problem, and it's not to sell cell phone technology or convenience, it's to sell something very different, privacy. Now this is a purely fictitious story, but it kind of explains where the idea of burner phones come from. Because if you want to have a private conversation that no one else can listen to, you want a burner phone. So there he creates an entirely different market. And to test this in this next clip, we're gonna see him driving up and trying to sell the exact same thing again. But this time he encounters a bunch of kids who thinks he's a narc, an undercover police officer. He realizes something. He still looks like an attorney.
Hey, how's it going? How you guys set for phones?
We got phones.
Private phones.
Beat it, narc.
Oh, come on. Would a narc drive this piece of shit?
Take it back to impound, narc.
So here he realizes, because he's shown up as his old self, his former legal self, the kids don't trust him naturally. So he has the bright idea now he's got to go back home and change. And now we see him reemerge in that kind of Saturday Night Fever look and walk in his tracksuit, which becomes part of his signature look moving forward. Now he's walking around and he looks like the people. So a lot of this is about perception and packaging. So if he doesn't look like his customers have a problem with him. And now he's selling them and they're flying out of the trunk. He can't keep them in stock. There's another lesson to be learned here as he's selling these things like hotcakes. Go to where the customers are. Now he realized the traffic that came to the store was just once in a while because there's not a place where people are looking for this. So he brings the show, so to speak, to the customers. And this is what you need to do. If you're trying to sell your services, be where the customers are. For example, if they're on TikTok, create content on TikTok. If they're more business oriented, they might be more on LinkedIn or somewhere in the middle like Instagram. So there's a valuable lesson here. By bringing your product, your wares, your services, your offers to where the customers are, you're reducing the friction and you'll be able to get in front of them. Now this last scene is super cool because he's not satisfied with selling a lot. He wants to sell all of them and he has a handful more. And so Jimmy, being Jimmy, packs up the rest of the phones and walks straight towards a biker gang. We don't know how this is gonna work out because in other cases he's been beat up or people steal from him, but let's see what happens here.
Hey, how's it going? Did you get that ink in Las Lunas?
Las Cruces.
Off by one.
And you've been inside?
No, I haven't had the honor, but I used to be a lawyer. Emphasis on used to be. And I helped a lot of gentlemen such as yourself and your friends here. And one thing I learned from working with my clients in the New Mexico correction system is that private conversations are few and far between.
That's excellent right there. So he says private conversations in the correction facilities are few and far between. So he understands that gangs need to talk to each other, but the man is always listening. So he's speaking their language. He's highlighting a pain point they already feel. How do we talk to our people? Then he adds the solution, which is these phones are very small. They can fit in almost anything, suggesting to them potentially them smuggling the phones in all kinds of different ways. Pretty genius.
The man is always listening on those landlines. So, word to the wise, if you want to talk to your friends on the inside, there is a simple solution.
Once you agitate the problem properly and use the language that they understand and a problem they identify with, the sale sells itself. Bravo, Jimmy. He sells all of the cell phones. This is a beautiful lesson. So when you're trying to build your business, and if you're not selling an abundant amount, it could be you need to change the lane in which you're in. This is also referred to as blue ocean strategy. If you're in a space and there's lots of competition, it's called the red ocean. Everybody's fighting for the same piece of business. If you take your boat and you move it somewhere else, where there's less competition, you can have the entire ocean to yourself. Now, as it relates to me, in my life, I used to make commercials for a living, but we saw a problem. Fewer and fewer people were watching commercials. So if I was in an industry making something that there was going to be less demand for, this is going to be problematic. And we saw the market slowly eat itself up. And I am not that patient. I do not want to sit around and watch this happen to our beloved industry. So I pivoted out of that by doing client direct work, doing brand strategy and brand design. And that allowed us to have a totally different market. We use the same skill sets, we just found a different customer. And that's how you apply positioning in your business. Is there another TV show where you think they do an incredible job of sales or marketing that you want us to do a deeper dive and breakdown on? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, we're gonna do Mad Men. Stay tuned for that.